guys, welcome to my Etsy channel. This is Nancy from nancybadillo.com and welcome to another episode of Etsy Shop Critique. If this is your first time visiting my Etsy YouTube channel and you are currently an Etsy seller or thinking of becoming an Etsy seller, or maybe you own a handmade business, this is the channel to be. I upload weekly videos for Etsy business slash anyone out there that has their own handmade business. And I help Etsy sellers plus handmade business succeed and build a thriving business. So if this is something that you're interested in doing, make sure that you click on that subscribe button. Today, I'm going to be doing a review on the store called Fast Win. So thank you, Maureen, for allowing me to do a critique of your shop. And what I normally do on a critique is that I break it down into sections. I pick a particular listing and I talk about the actual product photography. I also talk about listing description. I talk about SEO, and then I go a little bit deeper on talking about meta description, on-page SEO factor, off-page SEO factor, plus the curation of the shop. So make sure that you guys stay all the way to the end of the video. Also, any tools and recommendations, I always link them on the text box below. So below this video, if you click, you'll find a little box with text. And if you click inside of it, you'll find resources for Etsy sellers. And it's a massive list. So make sure you take a look at it by clicking below. So let's go ahead and get started. So what I did was I picked one listing and I'm doing a audit on this particular listing here. And I'm using XErank, or now known as eRank, to do my audit for that particular listing. So the first thing that I always talk about, like I mentioned, is product photography. And when you sell on an e-commerce platform like Etsy, or if you have your own e-commerce like site and you sell handmade items, it's very, very important that your product photography is amazing. It has to not only tell the buyer what exactly you're buying, what exactly you're selling within a few seconds. It should be cropped in a complimentary way. There should be no confusion. You should be able to look at the photo and know exactly what you're buying. And this is going to target two different types of customers. You're going to get the customer that is your target audience, the one that's looking for this specific type of product. And then you're going to also target the person that wasn't looking for your product, saw it, fell in love, and they want to buy from you. So you want to target both potential buyers. Now, my recommendation for your photo is that because you're selling a print, when I first look at this, you have to think about it this way. A lot of people online, unfortunately, do not read. The first thing they see is a photo. So if the photo is not clear to exactly what they're buying and there's some type of hesitation, they're going to not click on your photo or click on this particular listing to learn more. They're going to go ahead and proceed to look at other stuff on the news feed, on the Etsy feed. So therefore, what I would recommend if this is a horizontal print of a beautiful retro kitchen, which it is, what I would recommend is putting it in a picture frame. That way, when people are looking at it, they know exactly what they're buying. If I was to look at this photo without reading the title, I really don't know what I'm getting. Because the photo itself, I don't know, am I getting a sticker? Am I getting, I don't know, a toaster? Am I getting, I really don't know, because not everybody's going to know, oh, that's a painting. And you can't assume that people will know that either. So my first recommendation is put the photo in. You could do a mock-up, or you could just use your own, if you have one printed out at home, put it in a wall on a picture frame, take a nice, beautiful, clear picture of it with a simple white background and cropped in a complimentary way. Now, I always tell people to do this, so you've done a really good job. I always tell people put a call to action. The reason why is because if you put that call to action, you're telling them, hey, You could click below to learn more about this product. And did you know I also have matching items? That way, you're telling them to click. It's almost like when I tell somebody, hey, subscribe to my channel. Not everybody that goes to my channel knows that they can actually subscribe and get notifications every time I update a video. So therefore, it's the same thing with Etsy. You have to tell people what to do. So great job. I don't know if you took this from me. I do talk about this all the time. My only suggestion with this picture is that it's a little bit hard to read. It's a little busy. So what I would do is just have it on a plain. If you're gonna have it with decoration, that's fine. But it is a little bit hard to read. So that's the only thing. So I will have it with black font, maybe a white background or something simple. These are great pictures. I mean, they're beautiful. The issue is that I don't know what I'm really buying from just first glance. So it could be a print, yeah, and it could be a card or it could be something else. So my recommendation is to do each photo in a frame. Make sure you put them in the wall somewhere so people could visualize it in their own home, and that's gonna make your listing look better, and it's gonna make them want to click and buy more because they're gonna be like, oh, that's a print, I love it, let me get it. Versus they don't know what it is, so they're gonna not necessarily stop and click on your listing. So that would be my recommendation for your product photography. Excuse me. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is SEO. And SEO, as you might know, is called search engine optimization. And SEO is basically when somebody types in a keyword, how they find you in the search engine. They could find you on Google, Yahoo, Bing, or Etsy. Now, keep in mind that when you're doing SEO, you want to make sure that you pick keywords that are going to target your target audience. So it's very important that you start analyzing who is your target audience. You have to be able to use keywords that are not generic, and you have to be able to find keywords that are not too competitive. If you find keywords that are super competitive, you will be buried in the search engine. So if you're trying to get found organically means that you're not paying advertising. So if you're trying to get found organically, you will be buried in the search results. If you do run a promoted listing on Etsy, because you're using a keyword that's very competitive, get prepared to pay, you know, 3, 4, depending on the keyword, $4 per click. If you were to change the bid, the cost per bid, which you can, and you decide, you know what, I don't want to pay $4 a click, I'm going to pay 50 cents a click. You could do that. But what happens when you do that is because other people are willing to pay $4 per click, but you are only willing to pay 50 cents. What happens now is that your listing also, even though you're running a promoted listing, your listing gets buried also in the search results. So it's not, it's not going to be a win-win situation for you, regardless if you're running ads. So those would be my tips. Now, looking at your listing, it looks like you did the Etsy grade. And this is a prime example of an Etsy listing that has a grade of A, but all the majority of the keywords are all the wrong keywords to use. And I did a video about this, and I won't go into details about it right now because it'll be a little bit too long. But on the video, I talk about what is Etsy grading and why, even though you could have an A on Etsy grading, you could still be using the wrong tags. And it's very important that you understand the difference between the grade, which you did get an A, versus using the right tags. And keep in mind that with Etsy grading is basically, it's almost like a checklist, a SEO checklist. Did you put one of the keywords in the title? Check. Did you put the keyword in the beginning of your listing description? Check. Did you use additional keywords throughout your listing description? Check. Did you use more than one photo? Check. And then the more you check those boxes, the higher the grade you use. So you get an A. However, it doesn't mean that because you have an A that all your tags are correct. So just keep that in mind. I will recommend watching that video. I have it. I will list it below this video on the text box so you could click on it and find it easier. But I highly, highly recommend watching it. Looking at your keywords, a lot of your keywords are too over competitive. So, for instance, kitchen print, I wouldn't use that keyword. One is too generic. When you go to Etsy and you type in the word kitchen print, you could see how many other people are using that keyword. At the current moment, there's 300,000 listings. So therefore, that particular listing is somewhere on the bottom of the feed. So it's going to be really hard for you to rank for that keyword. And as you can see, when you do kitchen print, there's so many different variations of what that means. A lot of them are kitchen prints, but there's so many different ones. And what you have is a little bit more retro, a little bit more vintage. So I don't recommend using that keyword only because it's more of a generic keyword. Plus, on top of that, it's too competitive. So you're going to be somewhere in the search engine on the bottom, like buried in the feed. So another keyword that's very generic is horizontal print. That's not even a good tag to use. You want to make sure that when you use keywords that describe what you're selling and is targeting your target customer. Stay away from generic keywords. Stay away from words that don't describe what you're actually selling, and stay away from keywords that are too competitive. So what I would recommend is going back and redoing your entire tags. Even these tags here, monthly search volumes are unknown, and the reason why is because it doesn't really get any search volume that much, so therefore Etsy doesn't even report it. When it's a very, very low amount, it doesn't even get reported. So it's not even worth it, because you could have a keyword that's too competitive, so you're buried, and you could have a keyword that's low, like not that much competition, but because no one's searching for it, you also don't get no sales. So it's kind of like it's like the same thing. You have to make sure that you find keywords that has some type of competition, has a nice volume of search volume, monthly search volume, and also people are engaging with those listings and clicking and buying. Those are the three metrics you have to research every time you're using these tags. And once you do the research, all you have to do, I would recommend eRank. You could research keywords. You could use Marmalade, anything that is built on Etsy's data. That's what you want to use. And once you have the new keywords, you will do the same thing like you did here. You will have the main keyword in the beginning of your sentence. Write a short, enticing title to make people want to click to learn more about the product. And keep in mind that the first 160 characters is your meta description. And your meta description is what Google shows people when they search for you, when they find you in Google, Yahoo, or Bing. And this is what is shown to them. And this is a snippet of your listing description right here. So what you want to do is that you want to make sure that you write an enticing meta description that not only includes your main keyword again for on-page SEO factor, but also is enticing enough that the person wants to click to learn more. So you want to make sure you do that. And then what you want to do is to optimize your listing. You want to include your main tags throughout your listing description. That way you could rank higher in the search results for those tags. It's so, so important to do that. The third thing I want to talk about is listing description. And how it sounds is basically what it is. Is basically listing description is how you explain what they're buying, what size, what color, how to order. You have to make sure you be very detailed. Make sure you include anything additional that you have that's similar, like matching items. I think that you did a good job with your listing description. And with even, telling them how to order. I think the only suggestion that I would say, maybe add little sections. You don't have to do it. It looks easier on the eye. So for instance, I have like little sections that I say description, what's included, how to order, what you will receive, returns and refunds. I think if when you separate it that way, it's just easier on the eye. They could go to the section that they want to read, and it's faster for them to order from you. But other than that, I think you did a really good job with your listing description. So good job on that. Um, Now, the last thing I want to talk about is just the curation of your shop. And the curation of your shop is, do you have a photo of yourself? Um, you kind of do. Oh, yeah, you do. I'm sorry. I couldn't see it from far away, so that's my fault. So, what I would do is maybe remove the picture of the horse, just have a picture of just your face only. Um, when people buy from Etsy, they want to know who they're buying from. They want a connection. When they buy from Amazon or they buy from eBay, they could care less who they're buying from. Etsy is a little bit different because it's handmade. Everything is customized. Everything is unique. So the buyer does want to know who they're buying from. Great job on your logo. So you do have a logo, which is really, really good. Um, you do have a tagline. What I would recommend as an on page SEO factor is that you do research. You do like 50 keywords research of keywords that you want to rank for. And then what you do is you use those keywords in your tagline, you use the keywords in your announcement shop, then you use the keywords in your About Me section. You use those keywords everywhere and anywhere you could add a keyword. This is going to help you rank higher in the search results. Whenever somebody types those keywords, Etsy will build up a query of those keywords and it will put your listings in your store higher. So it's a really great way to drive more traffic and increase more traffic to your shop. So I recommend doing that. Great job on your slides. I think that you did a good job with the Etsy Plus, so trying to do different stuff. You have the Valentine one already. You have this one with the beautiful wild horses. What I would recommend maybe is adding, if you have Instagram or if you have any other social media platforms, adding your handle names, adding your hours of operation. If you have a website, doing that. If you have a subscriber list for emails, starting one of those and adding it here. It just makes you look more of that you have other channels so people can start following you and grow your brand. Excuse me. Now with the photos, just like I did that one listing that I recommended to put a picture frame, I would say do the same for the other photos as well, so people know exactly what they're buying at first glance and there's no confusion. And try to create something that try to pick branding colors. And branding colors is just sticking with those colors only. So I'll give you an idea. I have my Instagram account, and my branding colors for Instagram are pink, black, grayish, like a little green, and like a little brown color. And what I try to do, I'm not perfect, right? But what I try to do for as to make it look cohesive and to make it look like a brand, I always try to stick with those same colors. And you have to do the same thing with your Etsy shop. This will create a brand. It will make you stand apart from other stores. So what I would recommend is creating a style. So everything is cohesive. So that way, if I see this listing on Etsy and I see this listing on Etsy and I see this one, I know they're all coming from the same store, because now you are creating a style that represents your brand. And when people start seeing it all the time, they start noticing who you are. So I highly recommend doing that and having the same style of mock-up, or however you're going to showcase your print, having all your photos look the same. You can still use these if you want like a second or third photo, but my recommendation is, in order for you to set yourself apart from all these Etsy stores that sell beautiful art prints like yourself, how are you going to do that? How are you going to set yourself apart? And the first thing is product photography. You have to set yourself apart. You have to have remarkable photos, because even though your product might be great, even though your product might be amazing, a bad photo will cost you a sale. And Etsy did a survey last year in 2018, and they surveyed buyers, and 90% of them said that the reason why they purchased it was because of the photo. So it is very, very important. Now, it's important that you do everything because the photo is what makes them want to click. The SEO is how they found you, and the listing description makes them want to buy from you, right? It builds worthiness, it builds credibility. They feel comfortable from buying from you because they have all the details, all the information that they need to know to make an informed decision before they buy. So they all work hand in hand. However, if you don't have them all working together, you could have great photos and horrible SEO, or horrible photos but really great SEO. They all have to come together. So I definitely recommend you working on them together. Great job on your updates. I think they're beautiful. Great job on your slide in your About Me section. I think you're one of the few people that have the photos cropped beautifully. A lot of times when people put photos up here, they're not cropped correctly. So you did a really good job. And great job of adding all your social media handles and also adding a short bio about who you are and why they should buy from you. But these are my tips for you. I hope that this video was helpful. Guys, I'm trying to create a sense of community that we all come together and we help each other out. So if you currently sell art prints or any type of prints and you have any tips or suggestions that maybe I didn't cover that you would like to give to Maureen, leave them below. Leave a comment below. Let me know if this video was helpful to you as well. Thank you guys for watching. And if you have not subscribed yet, make sure that you do. Thank you. Bye-bye.